Seems word is spread about Edgar. Looks like he knew quite a lot of people.
Still back here. Not there before?
Ooh, a heart-shaped button. Does this open a secret drawer of heart-shaped candy, maybe? Let's see. What? Oh, whoa, what is happening? Why?
What?
That is quite a bed. Goodness. Is that a... wait, yes. Well, good. I've got that now, stuffed deep in my briefcase where nobody can see it to ask questions or anything. Firm. Yep, that's a firm mattress. Yes. Well, guess it's staying up. Hope I didn't break it.
I am not licking the love nest.
So that's where... Well...
Okay, I'm leaving now.
I'm here to see Bartholomew.
Tinkle knows. Bosscat told him to expect Kitty. Is Kitty in trouble?
I'm not in trouble. I'm doing my civic duty as the investigator of a criminal case to...
Tinkle thinks Kitty should be careful with word criminal.
I didn't mean... I'm gonna go inside now.
Kitty is not as dumb as you look, then.
Thank you, Tinvun Kiljunta.
Bartholomew stared at me silently after Tinkle left. Clearly, I wasn't the only cat who had slept restlessly. He wore the same clothes I'd seen him in the night before. He had bags under his eyes. The bite of whiskey filled the air. Tinvunkel, what now?
Did you think his parents named him Tinkle? It's only this foolish city that still cleaves to the stupid tradition of giving children sappy names. He merely got tired of nobody in the city pronouncing it properly, so he shortened it.
I see, so I guess you could say he crushed it. Hey. The flat stare I got told me that my attempt at comedy was not appreciated. Thankfully, he changed the topic, sparing me from more awkwardness.
Do you believe that a son should pay for the sins of his father, Nutter Butter?
I don't believe that anyone should pay for someone else's mistakes, especially if the price is death, but the world is an unfair place.
Ah, and it is your job to make it fair?
No. My job is to try.
How noble. Your clients must find you a delight with your self-deprecating humility, righteous words, and penchant for irreverent comedy. But what of family, Nutter Butter? Can justice be served when your sin is your bloodline?
It can always be served. Sins aren't found in blood. They're found in actions. They can be traced to those who performed them and used as evidence to hold them to account. The big cat's keen gaze unnerved me. I had been ready to be yelled at again, threatened, even ignored, but not whatever this was. Interrogated, conversed with.
So, do you believe that my son was killed because of me? Because of the actions I took?
I don't have enough information to say yet. Have you done anything recently that would have given someone a revenge motive? Any overdue parking tickets, just for example? He did not like that. Not at all. His eyes narrowed. and one side of his mouth rose in a snarl to reveal bone-white canines embedded in blood-pink gums.
Does this strike you as a time for levity, Nutter Butter? You wield your graceless wit like a dulled blade, probing for what? Information? Weakness? Guilt? Spare me the deflections and tell me, have you considered what I told you last night?
He
That was
used
weeks
his
ago,
words
I
like
forgot.
bludgeons. The bigger, the better. That was fine. I could talk a lot too, and I'd read all the books on my bookshelf. I knew words. I have considered it, Mr. Montameeuw, at length, but you're not the first cat to threaten me, and I have no doubt the last either. So if you think I'm going to roll over the moment someone bigger than me bares his fangs, I need you to understand, all cats are bigger than me. I won't be your lap cat, Mr. Montameeuw. I don't report to you, and I don't work for you. I won't slink to your side the moment you snap your fingers. You don't like my jokes, that's fair. Black humor is far from rare in my line of work, but I can understand it turning your nose at a time like this. But I'm not going to stop being who I am for you. I'm a PI and not a police cat because I value my independence no matter which side of the law I'm dealing with. I told you last night that I would find your son's killer, and I stand by that. I swear it, even on Edgar. I was ready to die right then, for Tinkle to burst in and turn me into wet red kibble with his gargantuan paws, but it had to be said. I couldn't have done the case under pretense. He needed to know who he was dealing with. And at last, it seemed he did.
You surprise me, Nutter Butter, but do not use his name like that ever again. Very well. Do you have any information for me?
I had to wet my tongue before I could continue. Out of the frying pan, into the mobster fire. There are a few pieces of evidence I'd like to discuss with you, yes, but last night's interaction was heated, and I would like to avoid a repeat. We will be discussing unpleasant topics. Do I have your assurance that you will remain as collected as you are now?
Collected? Yes, I will be as collected as I am now. I will nod and smile and pretend that I do not feel crippled by the loss whenever I think of my son, or filled with unquenchable rage to punish his killer. Your mother should have taught you not to judge a cat by the shine of his coat, Nutter Butter. My pain is vast. It would swallow you, and you would drown in it, alone and forgotten, mewling forever. I am not collected. I am enraged.
I stared into eyes that burned like holes into a place beyond the world. A terrible place. And then he blinked, and they were simply eyes again.
But my suffering will not aid you in finding the murderer. So you have tonight, and tonight only, to ask me whatever questions you wish. I will answer them, all of them, as truthfully and calmly as you can hope for, and reserve my anguish for when I am alone, when it shall not bother you.
I didn't mean...
Orphan, widow, widower. Words made of pain, for pain, yet they at least grant an identity. But for a parent that loses a child? Nothing. The very idea is so terrible that we leave it nameless. So I am denied even that simple expression, and my grief must remain anonymous, and all the worse for it. Consider that, and hope that you never, ever feel anything a fraction as terrible.
I wanted to say something, anything, that would show I understood, but did I? I'd come here to stand up to a bully, but I'd only succeeded in becoming the antagonist. I'd expected to have to face down a monster, but all I'd found was a cat in pain. Mr. Montameeuw, do you have someone Someone you can talk to, I mean, about what's happened? He didn't say a word, but I saw a look in his eye that answered my question. I am so sorry for your loss.
Your sorrow is meaningless to me. Tell me what you have found.
There's not much to say to him. Right.
I found this business card on your son's body. Do you know where it's from?
Celestine.
Who's that?
A mercenary of a cat. That's his business card. He owns The Establishment, a venue that myself and other cats like me use as neutral ground. But I've only ever gone there with Teen Vunkil Junta. Edgar knew of it, certainly, but he never expressed the slightest interest.
Worth following up on?
If Edgar was there, that tricky two-color cat would definitely have taken note. If only to find a way to exploit it to his own ends.
Oh, I'll pay him a visit then.
So that's
Can
how
I
we
have the
pause
address?
cutscenes.
You'll find them not far from here, across Herod Bridge, in Cabacon Street.
What's up with this gentle cat in
Your
the
son
desert?
made a note of something. He seemed quite keen to keep it a secret. A Gentle Cat in the Desert. A movie title, it would seem. We did some poking around and discovered that you have an interesting history. An actor. I would never have guessed.
Am I the first actor you've met, Nuttabutter? You seem disbelieving that we exist.
Oh, you exist, but you don't advertise the fact either. Did Edgar know of your previous occupation before recently? I mean,
I don't think so. I never brought it up. It was so long ago, and I didn't want him to.
To dig into the drama around your final production? I have a theory about where the murky trail of funding for that film ends. How did you get your foot in the door of this line of work in the first place, Mr. Montameeuw? Is it possible some of your investors sought to get some long-delayed recompense?
That's not a theory, it's a hypothesis. A very fanciful one.
Well, then give me some facts, Mr. Montameeuw. Your son starts looking into a film you made decades ago and dies. Did he speak to the wrong people? Or something else entirely? I couldn't help but notice a very pregnant cat standing next to you on the red carpet. The dates add up, Mr. Montameeuw. How is his mother doing? He kept his expression mostly still, but his mouth twitched unhappily at that.
I hope the story you're spinning is entertaining you, Nuttabutter. Because it is a fiction. Spiderwebs and shadows. You are correct on one count. That is Edgar's mother. Barely. She had other ideas about where she wanted her career to go, and a child did not fit into it. That cursed film was the end of my acting career, and the end of her involvement in our lives. If Edgar was looking into my past, he would have learned nothing beyond what I told him when I felt he was old enough. That he had one parent who loved him, and one who did not.
What did you and your son
I've
talk
heard from your
about?
staff that whenever Edgar visited the club, he'd invariably go to your office. Except last night. Why's that?
Are you sure you're an investigator, Nuttabutter? I was out of the country. Of course, he didn't bother going to my office.
Does he only go there if you're around? Do you socialize outside of work? What did you talk about last?
How is any of that relevant? If you're fishing to ask if we'd had a fight, we did not. He was just taking some time to be alone. He had the other keycard for my office elevator. He knew he was free to come and go as he pleased. As for what we discussed last, the loss of his friend, the expansion of the business, goals for the future, mundanities.
Found a bag of nip.
I found a bag of nip on Edgar's body.
Nip? No. You are mistaken.
I'm really not, I promise. The packet was in his clenched paw, as if he'd just received it. He apparently met up with someone at the club, and they acted somewhat suspiciously.
Listen to me. Edgar did not take nip.
I understand Edgar had not been to the club in months. Have you seen him personally in that time? Could he perhaps have picked up some new habits? I've also heard that you do not tolerate drug use by your staff, but does that extend to your family? It's not as simple to fire a son as it is an entertainer, for example.
Is that a reference to Platy and her unseemly dependency? Yes, I know of it. She doesn't hide it nearly as well as she seems to think. But as long as what she takes comes in a bottle, served over a pharmacy counter, I don't care. When it starts coming in a bag, smuggled paw to paw in a dirty alleyway, then I take action.
All right, but you still can't be certain Edgar wasn't indulging. How close were you two? Could he have been hiding it from you?
Do you know any nip addicts, Nutterbutter? It's not something you tuck into a pocket and turn to when you have a free moment. It consumes your life. If Edgar was involved, I would know. And beyond that, he was distraught that a friend of his had died of an overdose. Furious, even. He had come to hate Nip as much as I do.
Your staff have some theories about what happened.
I'm sure they do.
Tinkle didn't see anything odd, apart from Edgar even being at the club after such a long absence, but he did note that he seemed very upbeat. Did anything happen recently that might have improved his mood?
Not that I'm aware of, but we had not spoken in a while.
Miss Kitty says she heard Edgar coming back into the club later that evening, along with a cat she recognized the voice of, a big, mean type, she claims.
I would not trust anything Platy claims to have seen or heard after 2 a.m. That's her indulgence time. What she sees or hears then is liable to get confused.
If you say so, but I did find a very large footprint next to Edgar's body, larger than anyone who works for you.
Then investigate it. Do you need my permission?
No, never mind. Finally, Pepe says he saw Mousezilla, but I think we can discount that.
You might find Pepe's convictions ridiculous, but he is not insane or blind. He is loyal and trustworthy. Mousezilla is obviously not real, but if he says he saw something, I'd give him the benefit of the doubt.
You must have accumulated quite the rogues gallery of enemies in this business, Mr. Montameeuw. Can you think of anyone that might want revenge?
I am older than I seem, Nutterbutter, and I have managed to outlive most of my enemies. Those that remain would not strike at me through my son.
If you believe they wouldn't, doesn't that make it the ideal way to catch you by surprise? No ancient rivals, no young upstarts, the catulets I've heard mentioned.
You simply don't know enough about how things work in this city, Nutterbutter. There's a hierarchy, and on top, 2 families stand supreme. Mine and the Catulets. They have their domain and I have mine. We do not jockey for position. There is simply no chance they would have done this. And any small organization, they would not risk annihilation. And that is certainly what would befall them if they dared a move like this.
Well, I'll still keep my eye on those as options for now, if that's all right.
As you wish.
Okay, that's all the information I have so far, Mr. Montameeuw.
Then I imagine you'll want to get back out there and start gathering more. You know where the door is, of course.
Cut. Backstage. Is it only one way?
Cuddles?
Hi.
Desiree, what are you doing here?
I've not left yet, Cuddles.
You've been here the whole day? Desiree, you've had a traumatic experience. You need some rest.
I managed to nap a little in my room, thank you, Cuddles. But...
The attractive cat looked in the direction of Tinkle, guarding the elevator like a sphinx.
I wanted to thank you properly for saving me yesterday. Who knows how much longer I'd have been stuck there? Are you speaking with Bartholomew? Have you found evidence against him? You have to involve the police, Cuddles.
No, nothing like that. He, invited me over for a chat.
You can't trust him, Cuddles! Please, don't believe a single word he says.
Abruptly, tears appeared in her eyes.
Oh, Cuddles, I'm scared to even think it. Could Bartholomew have...
Killed his own son? Why? She stared at me for a moment through shining tears before seeming to come to a decision.
There's something you need to know, Cuddles. Edgar and I, the night he died, we talked.
What?
After my act, he came to my changing room. He was angry, Cuddles, going on about his father, about Gumdrop. He seemed angry at the whole Montameeuw Empire and scared. Could Bartholomew have given him an ultimatum? Perhaps Edgar wanted out, but his father had other plans.
Why didn't you mention this last night?
Oh, Cuddles, forgive me, but I didn't trust you yet. You found me in the chest when nobody else did, and I wondered if Bartholomew was trying to trick me. But I spoke to Pepe and to Tinkle, and it's clear you're earnest about solving this.
Anything else might you have overlooked mentioning last night, Desiree?
Nothing more. I swear. I can't help but feel that this is partly my fault. Perhaps if I'd tried to convince Edgar to cut ties or offered more support.
I'm sure there's nothing more you could have done, Desiree.
That's so kind of you to say, Cuddles. And I feel so much better after speaking to you. If you need any help putting that horrible criminal away for what he did, just ask.
Thanks. I shall.
Okay.
The funeral for Edgar Montameeuw will be held. Sorry, Edgar. I can't attend. I don't think mob families like law enforcement showing up at their personal events.